Hey, AfterBuzzers and the Arrangement fans, we are breaking down Season 2, Episode 7 of the E-Hit drama. On location was this episode. We're going to be breaking down all the new developments we found out in this episode in regards to the initial audition between Kyle and Megan, as well as their contract. Stay tuned, and we're also talking about our special Spotlight On segment with a surprise guest.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Brave. That was like the theme of this episode.
Yeah. Yes.
Be brave.
Especially don't give up. Be brave.
Yeah. That was really great.
Girl power.
You said
all
it.
the
You
way
said
with
you took
Megan.
the words right out of my mouth. I have nothing left to say after that.
Well, thanks guys for tuning in. We're so excited to talk The Arrangement with you. I am Tessa, and these are my lovely co-hosts, Ally
What's going on?
and Jess.
What's up, guys? I'm so excited to talk about this episode. I feel like we're starting to finally get some answers.
Finally.
Right?
Oh, and Megan's just like, girl power. This was girl power episode.
It was. It totally was.
Boys, you better watch out.
And we finally had a plot line like carry over from the previous episode, which was awesome.
Nice, yeah, definitely.
So what were your initial thoughts apart from that? Ally, did you have any initial thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, I think I was really excited to kind of have them really fight it out for once and not just fight it out for 5 seconds and then the next they're okay. You know what I mean? Like we actually had a distinctive, we did a really unconventional thing and we did it really fast. And Megan finally opened up about, like, you kind of swept me off my feet. I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
So there's a lot of honesty tonight, which was really nice.
So let's dive right into kind of the bulk of this episode, which was the unveiling of Kyle and Megan's contract and everything that we found out, like more details that were in it, like the non-compete clause between the two competing franchises or like in the same space, which we find out through Leslie, which I think is interesting, which we also find out the truth about the audition, which we can talk about later too. So what did you guys think about when all that started coming out? I mean, were you surprised that there was more aspects of the contract that we didn't know?
I was not surprised at all. I mean, that contract, it's like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I sign contracts, like, I skim it over, but and she had one day to sign it. Like, I'm not surprised. I knew that there was eventually going to be something in the contract that she forgot about or wasn't aware of. I knew that was coming out. What I actually really liked was that Leslie is now back in the picture because I'm on her side. I think that she really does support Megan, wants the best for Megan, and knows that Megan is beyond talented and doesn't want anyone to take away from her initial dreams, which was to get her talent to be an amazing actress.
Right. And it's like, unfortunately, Leslie had to do it the unconventional way of kind of letting Megan kind of go to the forefront and be that star, which was kind of alluding her to giving her this audition to be someone's wife in a way. But at the same time, I trust her wholeheartedly, and I know that her intentions are pure in the sense that she wants the best for Megan. You know what I mean? Like, so I agree with you on that. It wasn't like things were obviously on the right track of, she obviously had some talks with Deanne mentioning, I know what I did.
Yeah.
I understand, but I also just wanted the best for her, and this kind of seemed like her best shot.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that she flew, where were they?
I'm not really sure.
I mean,
actually.
it was like
I don't
1,000
think they
miles
away.
mentioned a city.
Yeah, well, she traveled to a rainy place to be there for Megan. I mean, that shows dedication.
Yeah.
After being fired too. Let's
Right.
not mention she's literally not her agent anymore and still decides to travel 1,000 miles just to tell her, listen, you actually got the part.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's dive more into that. Okay, so we find out that Leslie knew this all along and perhaps flagged it to Megan like she says, but Megan didn't seem to essentially remember that. And then furthermore, when Leslie is sitting on the couch with Deanne, we find out that their audition was planned as to Kyle meeting a new partner and having a relationship essentially, and Leslie knew that.
Yeah.
What do we think of her character for putting her client into a situation like that? Do you think that's shady to I mean, that kind of like threw me, to be honest. Like, oh wow, you knew that you're putting your client in this awkward like audition. It just felt weird to me.
I think it definitely kind of shook me a little. Like, okay, you know, we still have these pure intentions towards Leslie. We think that she has the best at heart for Megan. But at the same time, I think it was one of those situations where she's like, can't hurt. You know, she hasn't gotten an audition for a while or hasn't gotten a big part. She hasn't had her big break yet. So, you know, say she gets this.
Right.
It's up to her whether she wants to go ahead and sign it. I think that's kind of where Leslie's heart was lying, and that kind of complex where she realizes at the end of the day, it's going to be Megan's decision, but I can maybe, you know, put this in her lineup and see if it's even an option.
Yeah.
But then also, this just kind of made me think, remember last season I had talked about how it seemed like Deanne had Megan picked out from the get-go?
Yeah.
And then Leslie and Deanne had this weird kind of connection this episode.
Yeah.
There's something still there.
So I loved, speaking of that connection, I loved the connection that Leslie and Deanne really formed this episode. And then having Megan kind of join at the very end, because I really think that and now that Sean's kind of tweaking her way back in, I really think that it's going to be girl power. And now that Kyle, you know, knows that he really does love Megan and that how powerful the IHM is. By the way, in the past episodes, I've been saying ICM because here in LA, there is an ICM agency. So I'm sorry. I'm dyslexic. Just forgive me. I meant IHM the whole time. Anyway, so that's why I was laughing. But yeah, so I just think that this new bond that the girls have is going to be so powerful. And I think Sean's going to now enter and they're just going to take down Terrence.
Totally. And we kind of saw that they can do all of this without any of the guys' help.
Right. They can direct a whole film while they're laying on, you know.
In the tent.
Wow,
Yeah.
I never put two and two together. That was all women.
Yeah.
It was like,
It
it
was
was
on
girl
purpose.
power.
I feel really
And I loved how,
silly.
like, just the men happened to eat the eggs. Like, there was no
Right.
women that got sick.
And it was
Maybe
funny.
everyone's vegan. Who knows?
Well, it was funny because Megan even made this look. She looked at the eggs and was
Yeah.
like, and then she poured the coffee.
And I loved how Leslie was just going for the sugar. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to skip the eggs, just go for the sugar.
Which is it's so great. Wait, but really quick, I did want to say that oh my gosh, now it just left my mind. I hate when it does this. Okay, come back to me because it was a good one. It was a good one.
You know, so Megan went into that audition and you finally got the real Megan back. You know, when that director said, what do you really think about this script? And Megan, being honest like she is, she said it. And that's, I think, what really had the director connect with her. Because she was like, you're the only person that has actually told me the truth of what you really think. And then for her to find out, like have that connection with the director and then find out that she didn't get it. First of all, I mean, here in LA going to auditions, I felt her pain. Like you get so many no's before you get one yes. But I think that it was really hearing that no and then hearing that she actually did get the part that forced her to really open up with Kyle and even have Kyle open up back to her, even though he clearly lied, which now I want to know more about that lie. Like, why did he say that the contract was because of Megan and this risk test when he was on the phone with Terrence, he said it was a lie.
Yeah, he said he's like, I hated lying to the person I love.
And it was easy. It was easy to lie.
Yeah, so what does that mean? It's like we get 1 step forward, 5 steps back all the time.
But it made Kyle realize, like, listen, I do love Megan and Terrence and this whole IHM contract thing is messing with my head. And I feel okay to lie to her eyes, like when she's asking for an honest answer.
Which that's only going to screw him up in the long run.
And boy, did Megan bring up Elizabeth. She was like, it's about Elizabeth, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just like getting so annoyed with Terrence, and they continue to frame him kind of as the villain, which is why I'm getting so annoyed with him, I think. Because he seems to be in this like web of lies with Lisbeth and all this past stuff. And yet he's telling Kyle to not lie and then to lie. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just getting to me. I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is his long-term goal? Because he is, like, not handling Kyle well, I don't think, at this point.
No, and I don't want to jump to anything, but we kind of saw some foreshadowing of what's going to happen with Wes, because he was basically, from what I got from that, he's trying to make Wes the new Kyle.
Yeah.
Do you really think so?
Yes. Because he said, I've only done this with one other person. And that's the only thing that could really draw to my mind. He sees something that where he can make him into the Kyle West that he did. We can jump back to that later. But it was like that weird thing with Terrence and Kyle. I think he feels like he's losing Kyle in a way.
Yeah.
And he needs to grab onto something. And Wes was the person, because Wes just lost his mom, and we know that Kyle did not have a close relationship with his family. He was having that weird thing with his dad at the time. He was going through emotional breaks and everything. So, or kind of from what we've gathered, we haven't gotten initial answers as to what happened with Kyle, but we can kind of put two and two together.
I don't know. I think that Terrence is definitely trying to do things to Wes to mess with Deanne. Because I think Deanne kind of wants to almost be like a motherly figure to him, because she was so close to his mom. And I think that Terrence is like trying to push that away.
Interesting.
You know what I found most interesting about that when she found out Wes was doing the introduction workshop is that she took that as such a negative. Like, she turned to Terrence and was like, why are you taking this from me? Which goes to show, I think, that she almost doesn't believe in IHM. So I'm just wondering where her, like, loyalty lies in all of that, because she's so attached to Terrence. I feel like business-wise, that I just feel like we've all kind of sensed that she's not into IHM, but to kind of hear her say it, I think solidified that for me. Did that jar anything for you or no?
I don't think that Deanne believes in the IHM. I don't, because even when Megan said the director mentioned that she doesn't want anything to do with the IHM on set, it was like Deanne was kind of like, yeah, no kidding.
Right.
Kind of like saying like, I kind of don't
But
want.
isn't that how she kind of met Terrence? I felt like, I don't know why I thought this. Maybe I'm just off. I thought they kind of met doing that.
I think that they met before any of this. And then I think that, we kind of assumed she would have rather been married to Mason, but then her and Terrence were kind of already a couple, and I think it was the easier route, because she knew that, like, to be a director, to be in the field that she wanted to do, she kind of had to, stick with Terrence, because I think he had the money with IHM. But I think it was more so they met in the entertainment industry, and then she kind of fell into that trap with Terrence, because she kind of knew he could help her rise to whatever she needed to be. Yeah. That's what I've gathered. But that's the thing, though, is you bring up a great point, is that we still don't have these really solidifying factors as to who they were before they are the people that were the characters that we're real, like, living with today. So it's kind of confusing, because you're trying to figure out what's their backstory when we don't really have too much information to grasp onto.
Right. And the whole thing is so interesting, where she finds out Wes is now going to be involved and take classes at the IHM. And then she, admits that she found out to Terrence. And then she goes and says, oh, we need to undress and get down and dirty.
So
that was the most awkward moment. I was like, they are living such a life full of, especially Terrence, he is living a life full of lies and, like, manipulating, and, like, their relationship is so strange.
I feel like
Very strange.
Well, all of them are really strange. And even kind of you saw that with Megan and Kyle. I mean, last episode they were fighting like cats and dogs. And then we kind of saw this really lovey-dovey friendship relationship, when they were in the market scene and they were, shooting something.
Yeah.
But then they were kissing and laughing and having so much fun. So then it's kind of that weird complex to then, it's like they're hiding from things. They're all hiding from something, and I think it's like they're hiding from themselves. Like they're afraid to be themselves around each other, and the best way to do is just put up a facade.
I think the only person who's not hiding is Megan anymore. She, like, even when he asked, would you sign the contract again, which I think was, like, such a powerful moment. She literally shook her head and was like, I don't know. And then later on, she's like, I have an answer to your question. And the answer is no. But then she was so smart because I do think that she has feelings for Kyle and loves Kyle. It's just the rest of his package she doesn't like. But yeah. But sorry, not that kind of package. The IHM Terrence kind of package. But I think that, but I think that she was so smart after answering that question, saying, there are things in our lives that I want to change, and I want to change them with you. Because she knows that she can't take down Terrence without Kyle. And I think that was such a powerful moment, using that one word, our lives. And that's what really had Kyle say, you're going to go do this part.
But I'm like, it also is crazy because when you say our lives, it makes me go back to some predictions I had after the first season where I was like, ooh, I think it's going to be Kyle and Megan taking down the Institute together. But then I see this, but then you have the total opposite where you see him on the phone just moments before that conversation and he's like, I just had to lie to the love of my life. So it's like, where is his loyalty going to lie at the end of the day? We don't know.
But I think he's realizing, like, it is the contract and Terrence and
that it's messing everything up.
That's causing him to lie to the person he loves.
Gotcha.
So I do think that...
Yeah, keep going.
I do think that Megan pushing forward is going to bring out these emotions out of Kyle on his own and cause him to go on the other side and join.
Ooh, I like that.
Wow.
And I also think that Deanne, because Deanne took the director's seat, now has Leslie, this bond with Leslie. Megan, okay, I want to talk about Megan and her acting, but I think that Deanne's going to be like, I think right now she feels like she needs Terrence, and I think she's finally going to realize, I don't need him.
Definitely.
And just leave him, which I don't even know why she wants to have a baby with him.
Right. Like that is kind of a weird thing that even was a conversation piece. But also too, I think sometimes she thinks that she needs Kyle. She kind of hides behind Kyle in a way, is like, okay, I'll make sure that everything happens for you. But I think she secretly would love to be in the director's seat. I think she wants to take charge, but she's a little scared to. And so I think this really forced her to be like, you know what? I can do this.
Right.
So I think you're right. I think it's only a matter of time before these women start really showing these guys, like, who's in charge.
Yeah.
We don't need IHM.
Especially with everything going on with the hashtag Me Too and stuff and all this feminism. I mean, this episode was girl power all the way. But you know what? I do want to mention that I'm always so blown away of Megan's acting skills. Like, if someone told me, be brave, don't give up, and she's like, oh yeah, be brave, don't give up, and then she just like completely kills the scene, where moments before she like wanted to kill Kyle.
Right.
It's like, how the heck does this girl just switch her emotions like that?
Well, she did the tears, the 2 tears.
The tears, and then she like, then the next scene, the first scene was too teary.
Yeah.
And this next scene, she was like, I got this, I'm gonna commit suicide. Yeah. I mean, that, right? Is that
Right,
what happened?
that's like what happened in the show.
In
Yes,
the show,
yes.
in the show.
Wait, but can you guys cry on command?
No.
I'm always interested to know.
I can.
You can cry on command.
I don't want to do it right now, but I could.
Do it.
You know, I bet you I could, but like I would have to think about, and that's probably why she's able to switch her emotions, is because she could think about, think about taking over Terrence and be like, yeah, don't give up, be brave.
Yeah.
And then she could think about the freaking contract and cry on demand.
Right.
You know,
She's going through
It's
a lot
true.
right now.
right. So like I probably could cry on demand, but I'd have to really like think deep, you know, get in
Well,
the
and
zone.
I think the trippiest part about the show is that since they're acting, like, it
Yeah.
like throws me off because I'm like, wait, but they're acting.
Yeah.
Like, this is like one character all playing another
right.
character.
Like no wonder they're so good at that.
There's so many
So
layers.
Yeah. All right. Well, we also find out more about Sean and Terrence. So we still haven't or don't have confirmation that Sean told Megan about going to church with Terrence. We have Sean last said that she couldn't find Julie Wolfe.
When she never even searched.
When it seems, well, we know now she never searched.
I think she's scared.
You do?
Yeah, I think that she knows that once she searches, she's kind of, then she knows too much information almost, and she's the freaking lawyer of this place.
Yeah.
She's going down right with the Institute. She's no better than them at this point because she's too close for comfort.
Yeah.
So I think she's kind of got in too far. And then when Megan asked her, she kind of freaked out a little like, oh crap, like if I'm providing this information, I'm kind of scared what Terrence is going to do to me. I'm also scared as what's going to happen to me in the long run. And I think she likes her cushy life.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of too far in.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree with you. I think... I still do think she's loyal to Megan, which is something we've been talking about. Do you guys think that too? Or do you think she's like...
I think she dabbles. I think at times when she spends a lot of time around Terrence, she's on his side. And then when she, hears from Zach or kind of the other side of the Institute, she switches. So I think that she's not on one side or the other. She's kind of in the middle. And I think that, she hasn't picked... It depends on the type of day.
Yeah. And, when's the last time her and Megan have gotten a drink together or a coffee? Obviously, that would need to be written into the script, and we can bring it up to our imaginations. And they've both been technically really busy lately. But it's just weird that at the beginning of this season, we had one where they were really doing this together. And then we haven't seen another scene with them together, really, since that one drastic moment of her trying to sneak into the where they kidnap people. She tried to go with her boyfriend.
Oh, the facility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she needs someone like Maria Menounos in her life. If you guys want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life, for those of you who do, we have a podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos Podcast Edition is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life. From health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more, let our Maria be the big sister that you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate, comment, and when you do, let Maria know that the Arrangement Girls sent you there. So check it out.
Yay!
Definitely,
It's
guys.
really
It's
great.
so fun. And it's so
good.
easy because it's a podcast. So you just download it, and once it's downloaded to your phone, and you don't need to use any data or anything to be able to listen to it in the car or the grocery store or wherever you want to listen to it.
Yeah.
I actually was driving in an Uber not too long ago, and they asked what my favorite podcast was. I said that one.
Amazing.
Yeah, so you guys should definitely check it out. My Uber driver seemed interested.
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
All right, before we dive into predictions, we've been talking a lot about Sean. So we
Yeah.
thought it was only appropriate to do our special Spotlight On segment about her. I know I kind of said earlier guest, I meant surprise. So Jess, I will kick it to you.
All right, so Cara Patterson is her real name. By the way, if you guys follow her on Instagram, she posts very motivational quotes.
Oh, I love that.
So, yes, definitely if you want a little quote of the day, check out her Instagram. She is from America. Fun little fact is that Sean on the show is very secretive, and she is secretive too in her real life. She will not disclose her dating history. So, mystery there. Her past work is that she was known for her work on Straight Outta Compton in 2015. Why Did I Get Married to in 2010, and Ambition's Debt in 2017. She also, a little fun fact, has done a lot of Broadway and loves the theater. So that's kind of interesting. I could see her being very dramatic.
Totally.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love Broadway.
She's cool.
She went to school in Florida, and she went to Miami. Yeah, that's kind of it.
That's awesome.
Not much about her, but she's very interesting. And
Yeah.
follow her on Instagram. Seriously, her quotes and she posts like behind the scenes pictures too
Ooh,
from
fun.
the set. Yeah, it's really fun.
Thanks,
Super
Jess.
fun.
Yeah.
All right, so predictions. Where are you guys at?
Ooh, oh man. Alrighty. I feel like I always have to be the bearer of bad news or something. I don't know. I'm thinking that think that after this episode, you know, we are going to see the girls team up together, and I think maybe Deanne and Megan will have an alone moment where they realize, you know, they start talking about things.
Yeah.
And this sounds so basic, but they start talking about really the in-depth of their relationship with Kyle, and maybe they can kind of have something in common to realize that they both don't like IHM. You know, let's hear more of Deanne's side of the story, and she's not always on Terrence's side. And then Megan might feel like she has a little bit of a confidant. And now that we saw the 3 with Leslie and everything, so maybe that'll happen. I don't know about that, but I guess this is more of a hope than a want. Like, I want Kyle to really just tell Megan that he loves her and to kind of apologize for everything that's kind of happened, and he knows that he's thrown her into this crazy situation, but like just like maybe take her out on a date. I know those like the small things like that, even though it's a show, it's kind of fun as an audience because it feels a little bit more rewarding because we've been waiting and waiting for them to kind of have this bonding moment, and I honestly don't feel like I've seen a bonding moment.
Has he like flat out been like, I love you to her face?
I think so, but it hasn't been like
but it's been a while.
it hasn't been a dramatic thing either. It's like a I love you, Megan.
Yeah.
But it's not like grab your face.
So,
I love you, Megan.
I have a question for all of you guys, and actually everyone watching too. Do you really think Kyle loves Megan and Megan really loves Kyle?
I personally think Megan did fall in love with him for the situation.
Yeah.
I think Kyle really liked her, but I mean, love is such a strong word.
And they hung
I
out
don't
a day.
Right, exactly, which I thought was fun for them to rehash.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot that it was just one day.
Yeah, and she got cheated on. She found out she got cheated on like the day before that. And so she's like, I got cheated on. You whisked me away to Mexico. Then we went to France. Like, what did you want me to think?
Obviously, I'm going to follow. Like, hey, if anyone out there wants to do that to me,
That's like,
I'll
who's
follow
ever
up
been
too.
on vacation where they like meet the love of their life and then you never talk to them again?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Your summer fling. You know? But yeah, I was curious. And also, so as far as my predictions, I do totally agree. I think girl power. I think that Leslie getting back in the picture is going to, I just feel like Leslie really brings out the confidence in Megan. And I think that she's a strong woman, Leslie. And so she's also going to keep that confidence out of Deanne because the 3 of them are like a powerhouse.
Definitely.
And so, and even with Sean on their team, having that lawyer background, like I just think that is like the ultimate squad right there. They could take down Terrence. But I'm really curious. So when Kyle said that they did the contract because of Megan and this like risky monitor thing because she dropped out of school and ran away and whatever, I have a feeling that Megan is going to kind of relive that in her head and is going to doubt Kyle again and be like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Because when he said that to me, I was like, this is BS. Like, that's literally, like, I didn't believe Kyle.
I agree. I didn't either. I was like, come on, you couldn't come up with something better?
Yeah. And so I think that she's going to question him, and I just think that that's hopefully because now she was like, be honest, and he full on lied to her face when it was just one-on-one to her eyes. Like, how can someone do that? And I think that her questioning Kyle again is going to hopefully have him really disclose the truth. And so I'm hoping that's what happens. Who knows? But and I think that Deanne is gonna like sitting in the director's seat and kind of gonna realize that they don't need so much Terrence, and I think Kyle can almost join the girls' team.
Ooh, I would like that. That would be fun.
Really? Okay. I like that. All right, so my predictions, I think we're going to see Lisbeth come back because they keep toying with that.
Right.
And I think it's going to be nasty, which is not surprising. I think we will find out more about the contract, which you guys kind of harped on. I don't have anything new to add to that. I'm kind of confused because last episode ended on this kind of bombshell of, I keep wanting to say Josh, Kyle firing Xavier, and Deanne's going to bring the wrath, and there really wasn't a wrath. So I'm wondering if maybe that'll play out more in the next episode of these, you know, financiers of the movie and stuff coming in on Kyle. I I'm also curious to know how Leslie got more of her info. And if
Yes.
she has more
Ooh, I
people
forgot about that.
she knows elsewhere.
Maybe she's friends with, what's the girl's name? Julie Wolf.
kind of a
like the
long
one that
shot
went
for
missing?
me. Yeah.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Actually,
wanna
you
know
know
who
what
this
is a
girl
long
is.
shot in this show?
Yeah,
wanna
just go
know.
for anything.
I want to know
Go
who
all
this
in.
Julie girl is.
Was she the one in the preview who looked kind of more like Leslie's age, not Megan's age? There was kind of an older woman. Which would kind of tee up with the timeline,
Yeah.
I think, right? I don't know if that was her. It was super quick shot.
And I really hope that Megan gets the gig,
Me too.
the role.
Yeah.
Because I think that will really turn things around too. Maybe have them kind of revisit the contract. So I really hope that happens.
I also,
Agreed.
this is random what I'm throwing in there. I foresee the contract just becoming null. Like they just end up tearing it up. The contract doesn't exist anymore, and then it's like a matter of like I think Kyle's gonna get fed up and be like, fine, you don't want this contract? I don't want it either. I love you. Maybe that.
Oh,
you
that
know?
would be nice.
I like that.
That or he just ends it.
Yeah, and then it's like, what's gonna happen? And then she really takes him down.
Yeah.
Maybe part of it will have to do with Kyle finding out about Lisbeth and Terrence and then just losing
Yeah, then he's gonna
all
lose.
faith in Terrence.
Oh,
and
I
being
would
that
like
would be
that.
nice.
That
"Bye,
would be good.
We're done. Like, I'm
Bye.
not
See
doing
ya."
anything with you or for you ever
Seriously.
again. This contract is nothing. That's my hope, at least.
This relationship is over effective immediately.
And then my last prediction is I know we're leading up to the wedding, and I kind of think that's going to be the finale for us.
Well, this was episode 7, right? And there's 10 total.
We have 3 more.
Oh my gosh, we have so many questions and only 3 episodes left.
I
Mind
know.
blown.
Do you guys think we'll see Xavier again?
Oh, we have to. They can't just let him go that easy, right? They made
Well,
such a huge
I don't
stink
know.
about it.
We meet Mason, bye. We meet Xavier, bye. Like, this is like...
It's so true. Like Hope was back in for an episode. She's gone. She was supposed to
true.
help us. I don't know.
Oh,
my gosh.
and my last prediction before we go is I think Kyle's going to get jealous of Wes.
Ooh.
Oh, like Wes and Terrence being
Yeah.
bondy. Yeah,
Like, I think
can
he's
see
going to
it.
start picking up on their relationship and being like, I'm your boy. Who's this boy? You know, like,
Yeah.
Huh.
which will further if he finds out about him and Lisbeth, just like,
Okay, bye. Bye.
See ya. Never.
we're done.
We're done. Mic drop.
All right, guys. Well, if you have any awesome comments or predictions, leave them in the comments below. I am Tessa Cevaal. You guys can find me on all social media at Tessa_Cevaal. And these were my lovely co-hosts.
Hey guys, Ally Nasta here. Find me on Twitter at Ally Nasta and on Instagram at EllieGirl.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next Monday. And I am Jessica Carroll on Instagram and all social media at Jess Carroll TV.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.